Lines. Simple, straight lines. You draw them every day without thinking twice. But what if I told you there are lines in the Peruvian desert that stretch for miles? Lines so precise and so massive that they form a spider the size of 2 football fields, right next to a hummingbird with a 300-foot wingspan. These aren't mirages, they're real. And they're called the Nazca Lines, one of the most mind-bending mysteries carved into our planet. The Nazca Lines are a collection of over 800 straight lines, 300 geometric shapes, and 70 animal and plant designs etched into the desert floor of southern Peru. We're talking monkeys, condors, whales, lizards, and even a flower, all carved at impossible scales. Created between 500 BCE and 500 CE by the ancient Nazca culture, these geoglyphs are so massive that you can only truly appreciate them from the air. The Nazca Lines cover an area of nearly 175 square miles. That's larger than Philadelphia. And the largest figures, they can stretch up to 1,200 feet across. And here's what's extraordinary. The Nazca people created these masterpieces without ever being able to see them from above. While local people walked past the Nazca Lines for centuries, they remained invisible to the wider world until 1927, when Peruvian archaeologist Toribio Mejia spotted them while hiking through the foothills. Then, in the 1930s, commercial pilots began flying over the region, and suddenly, these ancient artworks revealed themselves in full. What changed everything was German mathematician Maria Reiche, who arrived in the 1940s and spent the next 50 years of her life obsessively mapping and protecting the Nazca Lines. She literally swept the desert floor with a broom to preserve them. And her detailed measurements proved these lines weren't random. They were planned with mathematical precision. You may ask how the Nazca people created these enormous designs. The truth is the process was actually remarkably simple, yet required incredible precision. The Nazca Lines were created by removing reddish pebbles from the desert surface to reveal the lighter colored ground beneath. The Nazca used simple tools and stakes with rope to maintain straight lines and proper proportions, and the region's dry, windless climate preserved the result for over 2,000 years with minimal erosion. But this still doesn't answer the bigger question. Why did they create these lines? The theories about the Nazca Lines range from scientific to, let's say, creative. Swiss author Erich von Däniken famously proposed that the Nazca Lines were ancient alien landing strips, a theory that's been thoroughly debunked by archaeologists. Maria Reiche believed the Nazca Lines functioned as an astronomical calendar, with some lines pointing to celestial events like solstices. More recent research suggests that Nazca Lines were part of ritual pathways related to water and fertility, crucial concerns in one of Earth's driest deserts. And other scholars think the Nazca people created these designs as offerings to mountain and sky gods who could see them from above. The truth? It might be a combination of all these purposes, or none of them, with different Nazca Lines serving different ceremonial functions. Today, the Nazca Lines are a UNESCO World Heritage Site, attracting thousands of visitors annually who take small plane tours to witness these ancient wonders. And at the same time, they face constant human threats. In 2014, Greenpeace activists sparked international outrage when they damaged the area around the hummingbird geoglyph during a publicity stunt. More recently, in 2018, a truck driver ignored warning signs and drove across the Nazca Lines, leaving deep scars across 3 of the geoglyphs. And additionally, climate change and El Niño weather patterns now threaten the Nazca Lines with unprecedented rainfall and erosion. The Nazca people never knew their work would survive 2 millennia, and they certainly never knew we'd fly overhead in metal birds, desperately searching for answers in their designs. Were the Nazca Lines messages to the gods? Ancient calendars? Sacred pathways? Truth is, we may never fully understand them. And perhaps that's what makes them so powerful. They remind us that some mysteries aren't meant to be solved. They're just meant to endure.